What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Riverdale Season 6, Episode 21. And it's called Chapter 116, The Stand.
Ooh, and don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending of the podcast. We're going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, our MVPs, LVPs, some of your recap roundups that you guys send in. So be sure to stick around for that.
As always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us get into this episode. Y'all.
Let's do it. We're one episode out now from the finale.
The finale.
And this was the stand.
This was the stand. Yes. What did you think of the stand?
I mean, I liked it.
Okay.
I feel like they got there. And it's very much like a sort of like a Game of Thrones where like the episode, like this is the conclusion before the actual conclusion to the season, which I like because now we have a bit more time to sit with some of the ending scenes that we're gonna get maybe next week. I mean, it's obviously not done yet. There's obviously a comet heading to town, so they're not done their work yet. I kind of felt like overarching wise, I kind of felt like that took away from like the Percival ending a little bit because it was like, oh my god, is he actually like dead?
He's gone,
and it's like, yeah, he is dead, but like now like a comet's coming. I was like, okay, so okay,
yeah, it.
What did you think?
I liked it. I felt like we went through a lot. Like it burned through so many different things really, really fast. Like, let's just do this.
So
let's just do this. Let's just like make baby Anthony a big person. Like look, so many things happened this episode.
I know, and I felt like
it felt like very chaotic.
Some of them, don't you think that they could have done that like last week?
They could have done them last week, or they couldn't have done them at all because some of them were completely pointless and useless.
Like that one, which I want to talk about later.
That one specifically was like what?
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And we'll talk about Percival's demise by the end of it. It was kind of what I predicted, like the devil coming back and doing something with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about that. There were some pieces that I have questions about. I do feel like we got to where it needed to go to finish off the season. And I do have questions in terms of like what's coming next. What is the final episode going to tease for the following season, the final season?
That's what I'm excited
to
see. Yeah.
To see if like, are these powers going to go away suddenly out of nowhere? Are they going to close the void in Riverdale or Rivervale? Like, what are they going to do with all these things that they opened up this season?
Yeah, and ultimately some of the characters, right? Because is there going to be sort of collateral where like, why is Jughead still alive? How is Polly going to stay alive now?
Right.
There's like a lot of different characters, I think, that are questionable going into next season. So I do hope that they sort of wrap those things up too and not leave it all open-ended for the final season.
Agreed. Okay, well, let's get into the episode. We'll talk through it. So it starts off with Jughead kind of writing out the possible end of Riverdale. He's like, this might be my last message to everybody because the world's going to end. Riverdale might be over. And he talks about how Percival has closed the borders because he doesn't want anybody.
Which at this point is like a regular Saturday at Riverdale. Like they always close their borders. They're always closing the highways. They're always doing this. It's like regular.
Always. Yeah. So whatever. Cool. But it's just one of those things, and not to bring it up again because it's already over, but like the fact that Greendale never became involved, the fact that Sabrina never came back.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, and is she going to come back for this comet situation? I don't think she is either. I think that we had what we had from them and we're not going to get it back. It's just like my wishful thinking for them to like close up these gigantic plot holes that they always have. But anyway, so he's closed up the borders. Archie is planning the attack because they're like, he's a war veteran, so he knows like strategy and shit, which I thought was a kind of cool callback. I was like,
liked it, but like when you looked at that thing, it was like army toys. It was like a map of the world and like army toys. I was like,
little army toys. I'm like, okay, Archie. apparently they use the Holy Grail. They really glossed over this, but they like use the Holy Grail to help cork the Hellmouth. Yeah, it was like, oh,
and they never got back to it.
They never got back to it. And I also forgot that she took the Holy Grail. So I was like, oh, okay, like it all kind of connects back, but they really didn't like sit on it. I thought that was
a really cool scene to show. And I was like, ooh, and then it never came back.
And stuff. Yeah, it just never shows up again. And then Percival empties his shop, and it kind of cuts into like the first scene, which it's Archie telling Reggie to burn down the entire shop so he doesn't have a place to come back to. And he kind of like looks over, and it's Hiram's painting, so he pulls Hiram's painting.
I was like, that's considerate.
Before Cheryl's like, fire,
yeah, like light it up.
She burns the whole damn thing down. Okay, cool. Like random question to you, because it didn't happen in this episode. This whole callback to Hiram keeps happening. And
I know.
In this episode especially, we get Abuelita coming out literally from fucking nowhere.
Which
do you think that there is gonna be a new, like, is Mark Consuelos returning to season 7?
I don't think so. Mark Consuelos is enjoying his life with his wife and children in the Hamptons right now. He has no plans.
He has no interest.
I really don't think. I don't think so. Like, and again, like, I think if they had just left all of that open-ended and they never killed Hiram and we never had an answer, would I be more open to it and be like, yeah, of course. Like, I definitely think there could have been a possibility. I just don't think now it does make any sense. Like, and so much of her character, who she is now, is solely based on like, she's like, I killed my father and I have to make that decision, and I did that. And it's like, and now it's like, if she goes back on it and it comes back, it's like, oh, okay. So I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, for sure. I could agree with that. Okay, so that happens. Then it cuts to Thornhill, and Betty's talking to Polly about losing their mom, and she's like really upset about it. And Polly's like, have faith. And Betty's like, screw faith. It's kind of cute seeing like Polly as this like angel while Betty's like still trippy. Dealing with her like sadness and like depression. I'm like, okay, is Polly just gonna be this like girl that's
also
like,
where are the kids? Like, where are the twins?
Who effing knows? Polly still, even as an angel, is
such a
neglectful mom.
Mysterious girl.
She still can't get that shit together. So then it cuts to Tony and Fangs' place, and they're with Kevin, and then Moose shows up and hugs Kevin. He's there to like get in there just before the borders closed, and he's there for some emotional
It's like,
support.
I never really left.
I was waiting.
I was like, shut up.
This whole time.
Who are these people?
Nobody cares.
Literally nobody cares.
Literally nobody cares. So then it cuts to Archie with Veronica, and they're talking about the plan in the office. I do find it very interesting that they keep throwing them back together again.
Like they're forcing them.
Forcing it
He's
together.
like, I need your like skills of like, what's it called?
Like persuasion.
Like, she's like, oh, I can definitely do that.
Negotiation.
I could definitely do that for you. Yeah.
So, but I mean, and then she also checks in with Archie, and I'm sure all the VARCHIE fans are like, look, she checked in with him because of Frank and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's like, don't worry, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. And then, he asked her to come with him to talk to Percival, and she's like, yeah, for sure. Then it cuts to the El Royale pops, and they're trying to figure out what to bargain with Percival on. Like, should they give him half of Riverdale? Like what should they do? Everyone's just like not really sure what they're gonna offer him at this point in time. So then it cuts to Tabitha, and she comes to see Archie and Veronica before they go to talk to Percival, and she says, I've seen this like play out thousands of times, and one of the two successful times that it happened, it started with this meeting with Percival at the Babylonium, and it's because one of you shot him point blank. Like, he's not immortal. Like, he can be killed. So like, you can try.
Tabitha really annoyed me this episode because, and it's not necessarily Tabitha, but like the way that they've like shaped her character and like her skills, because powers, I have no idea what the fuck she knows and what she doesn't. It's like half the time she's like, oh, I have seen that and y'all better not go there. And then half the time she's like, yeah, like just do that because I didn't see that part.
By the way, like she's
how does
sitting
your
around.
Thing work? Like, and then now she's like, oh, I saw you go there. You shot him.
Right.
Okay, and then what happens? Like, just tell us the ending because like you know it, obviously.
You already know, and then she didn't really know anyway. Like, it is very weird.
It was kind of annoying Because I'm like, I don't get the extent of her like her, or if she just said it like that, this is all I can see. Like I only see like this, but this. I'd be like, oh, okay, like I get it.
Or it'd be interesting if like she loses a little bit of her memory when she comes back. You know what I mean? Like I only had like I had a flash of little fragments. Would make more sense because then she could be like, oh, I remember that. Because even when they're talking about the negotiation, she could step in and be like, oh, this is what you're gonna offer him.
Exactly. She would have known.
Like, you know, like just exactly your face, exactly. So like, it's just that
it was just a lot of that because at every step she was there to be like, but in this universe I saw this, and I'm like, okay, but then what else did you see? So it was just like she almost has like the cheat code to everything, but then they don't use it all the time. So I'm like, I don't understand this girl,
like the full power. Anyway, so then it cuts to the Babylonium and they see Twyla. We see Twyla who is talking to Percival. And they're like, the ghoulies are now their neighbors under mind control. Oh no, she's talking to the two of them when they come into the Babylonium.
Right.
The ghoulies are now their neighbors, they're under mind control, and they're gonna fight for them. And then they go to talk to Percival and ask for their dead back. Like that's like their main goal. Like we just want our dead back. And then Archie's like, you can exchange them for me, like I'll be your prisoner of war. And Percival says no. He's like, I got this mace that's going to basically kill you. So like, why would I need your body right now? I want to destroy Riverdale. Veronica then offers half of Riverdale. And he's like, no. So I was like, so Archie, you're out here being like, you're this master negotiator. Veronica, I need your help. She literally just says what I would have said, what you would have said. She doesn't really. She doesn't even bring any like.
Happy even, like, you brought that up because like
what was your skill in this point in time?
So having also said that, she does when she enters, he does say, don't try to like work your thing, like your toxic thing on me because I'm like, I'm good. So do you think that she was going in there like thinking of like poisoning him or like tricking him in that way?
I don't think so. And also that would have probably been a dumb idea. But also like, just walking in and being like, so do you want half of Riverdale?
So we're going to cut Riverdale in half. Boom. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And she's like, I'm done, Archie. I have nothing else.
Like all right, here's a gun. And she like tries to shoot him. I'm like, oh my God. That was literally your only goal.
Even with these guys. Their plans are absolutely dumb. Like the fact that you would even try to bargain with this man at this point in the game, you should know that there is no bargaining with him. Like he's not down to do any of that.
Fold, so she does try to shoot him. She's like, I killed my papa. So boom, and then she tries to shoot him, and then like the gun turns into like a fake gun right away, and like it's like flowers pop out, and she's like, fuck.
He's like, psych.
And then he's like, here, take your bodies back. As like collateral, whatever. Goodbye. So they leave, and then as they're leaving, she's like, I think Twyla comes back, and she's like, oh, like are you getting soft on me? And he's like, don't worry, I figured something out, so they can't get their shit back.
He's like, I always stay hard.
I always win. So then it cuts to the Pop's diner. And the bodies are back, but when Betty checks her mom's body,
this part was messed up.
The heads are missing.
Because she's like, she opens it. She's like, oh.
She's like, fuck.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, is it like not like Alice's
mutilated?
Body? And then Archie like goes and he looks and he's like,
yeah, he's like, damn.
And they're like, what?
Yeah, like tell us, tell the audience.
He's like, oh no, it's Alice's body, but not her head. I was like,
her head is missing.
And then Kevin like runs over to his dad's and he's like, Daddy?
He's like, Papa.
And, that was sick though, like sickening, like bad, in a bad way.
It was gross. Yeah. So then Cheryl says like she can't bring them back to life if the bodies aren't intact. So sorry about it. Then it cuts to Tabitha and Jughead at home. And they have a really sweet moment. We didn't get a lot of like Tabitha moments like toward the end of the series, like to the end of the season. So it was nice to see them have like a quick moment. She pleads with him like, do not like you have to leave Riverdale right now. You're gonna die. And Jughead says like, girl, you literally brought me back to life so I can fight. So like, what do you want me to do with this?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense that Tabitha's still pleading with him when she literally wanted to bring him back from the afterlife.
She even just said that she's like, you're right. I saw in another universe. You said no.
You said the same thing a million times.
Okay,
over.
so
why did you bother trying? Anyway, they have a cute moment. They
They're
kiss,
cute
whatever.
together though. I really like
cute.
their chemistry. Like I do feel like the
me
actors
too.
have good chemistry together. I like
Agreed.
their scenes.
So then it cuts to Percival and he does a spell. So before, because war's supposed to start like the next night or something like that, he kind of like does a surprise attack and he starts doing a spell on these like little dolls that he has sitting around. One of them we notice is Reggie, but the other two, like, you're not really sure what they are or who they are. Then it cuts to Archie and Reggie and they're talking about the plan. And Reggie's like asking a lot of questions of the plan. He's like, oh, so like, what are you gonna do next? And what are you gonna do next? And Archie's like, yeah, then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this.
And they're like having
even
beers. And I was like, guys, is this the time to be drunk right now?
Time to do it? He's like,
the world is
right
ending
before the end of the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then it cuts to Archie's already starting to feel like a little iffy about the whole situation too. Then it cuts to Betty. She's on the phone upstairs and she hears something downstairs. So this is when like the plan is being enacted. So then it cuts to Veronica. She gets a knock on the door and it's like her abuelita, but her abuelita sounds like weird. She's like, I'm just here to talk to you.
And it was like from behind the door. She's like, hello, dog girl. She's like, I'm here. And Veronica's like, I didn't call you though. Like
what are you doing here? And how did you show up in Riverdale? What the hell?
Aren't the doors closed? Hello.
Like
the highways.
Yeah. And then it cuts to Cheryl and Heather and they're talking. And Heather, she's like, I was reading up on Bailey's comment and I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
Before she's able to tell her the entire piece, Jason comes in and he's like, I want to play a game, Cheryl.
Like, you never play with me anymore.
Never play with me. And he comes in with a bow and arrow and he literally shoots Heather and then tries to shoot Cheryl and then she runs and Cheryl's Heather's like literally shot in the arm with a fucking arrow. I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on? And then obviously this is the spell that has been enacted. Reggie stabs Archie with like the blade that he had. Like, first of all, why does Reggie still have this blade? Like, could someone have not taken it from him at some point in time? Like, he doesn't need it anymore.
And he even has to like say, because like he stabs Archie so bad. He's like, this was the dagger. I was like, okay, we got it. Like, we know that's the dagger.
So he's fighting him. Betty goes into the kitchen. She sees Zombie Glenn. So it was Zombie Glenn.
Yeah.
We said in the promo that we thought it was Jughead, but then I watched it while we were editing and I was like, oh, it is Glenn. So it's like undead Glenn. He's like sewn back together or whatever. And then Veronica sees her grandma through like the peephole and her grandma's got a motherfucking shotgun. She almost shoots her in the fucking face.
That was amazing.
I died. I was like this old 75-year-old lady. Like, yeah.
I was like,
I just want to talk. Boom. Yeah. So she's
like,
coming
you
after
killed
Veronica.
my son. And then I was like, I thought that abuelita was Hermione's mom, the actress.
Oh.
That we saw in the beginning. I was like, I'm not gonna go back to season 2 and like check it. But I'm pretty sure she was Hermione's mom, but I could be wrong.
Anyway. So she shoots her. Then it cuts to Tabitha and Jughead sitting and eating, and she's like, "Oh, I feel something. Someone in Riverdale is dying."
Yeah, because Jughead was like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Don't you know I'm the guardian angel of Riverdale? I feel the souls." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, true." Like she had to explain it to us.
She had to explain it further, and I'm like, "This is becoming Charmed. Like it's like literally like she can feel. It's a lot." Then it cuts to Betty. She knocks Glenn out and runs to the garage, grabs a chainsaw. So like she has her like little serial killer moment.
Wait. Can I just go back to the sound effect that they used when Glenn took out the turkey like cutter? It was like I was like, oh, it's like a little knife. Like I think you got the wrong sound effect between. Is
there a motor on that thing? Yeah, like Jesus.
And there is, but it's not like that
loud. It's not like a gigantic motor.
He was like.
It sounded like the chainsaw. They like literally moved the same sound effects when she grabbed the chainsaw. Yeah, he was like zing, zing, zing. Yeah. So anyway,
and she was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, she's like, "And what?" Yeah. And then Cheryl is playing like Marco Polo with Jason, but he's like trying to kill her. And then she has this quick moment. Okay.
Here we go.
So she comes from around the corner and she like looks at Jason and she's like, I'm so sorry that I brought you back. I shouldn't have brought you back in the first place. And then she burns him, and then he's dead.
That's it. She's like, I am so sorry.
Boom.
And I was like, oh, okay, we're
what
gonna
did
go
you
that
think
way.
of this situation?
I mean, I think she had to do it because she doesn't understand what's happening either, right? Like, he's trying to kill her and everyone in the house. So I understand why she did it, but well, does it mean that he can never come back again? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just got annoyed because I'm like, you literally like broke the rules of death to bring your brother back to life. And your only option was to burn him.
I guess she panicked. Maybe she didn't know what else to do. But I mean, it would have been sick if, like, in that moment, like, Polly saw that and she was like, "No."
She's like, "Don't kill my husband."
And then, like, she does it anyways because, like, she has nothing else. She can't do anything else. Like, I don't know. I mean, she does regret it later, right? Like, at the end, she was like, "What did I do? Like, I shouldn't have brought them back."
She shouldn't have done this. Yeah. But at the same time, I just feel like it's what we were saying from the beginning when we found out that they were back. You know, we were like, why are they here? What's their purpose? Jason's purpose was literally to come back, model for Cheryl last episode, and then this episode to shoot Heather in the arm and then chase after Cheryl so he can be killed again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now we know why the actor never wants to speak because he's like, I mean, you guys kill me off.
I'm surprised he even agrees to come back on
point?
The show at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Anyway, so he's dead. He's gone. Cheryl's sad. And that's the thing. I feel like there should have been more like gravitas to it. Like, if this is your twin brother that you brought back from heaven and broke all the rules, like, give me the moment. And I know that Cheryl can do that. So I was just like, this is an extreme. Like, for me, if I had to kill my brother again because he was coming after me because he was possessed, I would be like dying on the inside.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Terrible.
I guess like in an episode where there's just so much other shit happening.
Yeah.
Like it's
just like one of the many plot points. Yeah. So then it cuts to Abuelita shooting at Veronica, and now she's like vocally saying, "You killed my son. You killed my son. I'm coming after you. You did this." She's in the bath. She hides in the bathroom. This like infamous bathtub. She's like hiding in it, and as she's like talking it out with Abuelita, she's like, I know, like, I think we should just talk it out. And then suddenly, like, Abuelita stops, like, moving, like, talking. And so she gets out of from under the tub. She opens the door and she's like, I put, like, paralysis, like
I thought that was pretty cool
on the doorknob. I was like, that's pretty
freaking smart.
Also, I'm like, Veronica, like, do that for more things.
Exactly.
Like, why don't you do that for more things? That's
everyone's
cool.
door should have that on them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, paralyze everybody. Maybe it should have been on Cheryl, so like she didn't get fucking murdered by her brother.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Reggie and the fight with Archie, and he's like stabbing the F out of Archie.
Like, I was really violently in pain.
Like, yeah.
It was
he's like
very
going in on
violent. And I'm surprised they showed this on like Riverdale. He was just like like back to and even Archie was like, stop.
Yeah. And he's like trying to choke him out. So he's choking him out while he's stabbing him. Finally, he like passes out and he's like dying.
Yeah.
Tabitha runs in and then Bingo helps him. He's like, am I dying again?
Yeah, like, I thought that was cute.
We hope not. And then Bingo comes by and he starts licking his wounds. And obviously he'll be fine. Then it cuts to Abuelita and Veronica talking it out. So this is like after the curse has been broken. And it's not giving
anything.
Giving me anything.
It's not giving like grandmother and granddaughter vibes.
Yeah. Not grandmother, granddaughter vibes. Not like, I'm sorry I killed your son / my dad because he was crazy. Like, I didn't understand why Abuelita even was in the picture.
Me too.
They should have just brought back the guy, her bodyguard. Like, just
and
like,
she does mention him. Like, Abuelita does say like, you killed whatever his name was.
Yeah.
So to your point, like, if Percival's bringing back the dead people that have haunted our characters, wouldn't it have been a dead character?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, yeah. To your point, it makes no sense. Like, it's like they probably couldn't get Mark and they probably couldn't get the actor that played the other guy. And they were like, who else can we get? Abuelita.
It would have been fucking sick if they got Mark.
Or the husband even, but he didn't die in Riverdale. Cool. So I guess that's different, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, yeah, he didn't die. But that would have been cool if they brought like back her exes.
Yeah.
Like, they're all after her.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, no, to your point, but yeah, like I love how she like put the poison on the door. I thought that was sick of her.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I didn't get the Abuelita like connection at all.
I just feel like she didn't need to be there. Like, why did we need to like
Do
have
you
a scene?
think?
Maybe she'll be in the next episode
Yeah.
and like
No,
have
but
more of a conversation with her.
do you
like,
think she'll be in the next season?
Abuelita?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, fine.
I can
but,
picture
like,
Veronica
why?
like I could picture Veronica and like Abuelita like being like in business together, and like maybe that's the way Veronica finds her peace again, is like working with family, even though like she's killed her father off. Like maybe now she can still work with her grandma. I don't know, because to your point, like it does feel so random. Like, why are you bringing her back? Random.
Why bring back
So,
Abuelita? Is it just because they wanted to have like a grandma hold a shotgun and try to kill Veronica? Like, I didn't need that.
And like,
why Abuelita? Like,
dead.
What did she do to you?
Yeah,
like, she was.
And how can
in
Percival
Riverdale
control her?
Like,
Exactly.
I don't even know how he even got like a poppet for her. Like,
none of it makes sense.
And it doesn't make sense why they brought her. Like, he literally had Hiram's.
It could have been the guy.
So, like, to your
Smithers.
point, could have been Smithers. It could have been literally anybody else except for
that's like
Abuelita.
There that he could curse and that could like try to kill her. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think what they were trying to give, like, to the point that I'm trying to say about this scene, they're trying to say as if like they were talking it out, like, yeah, you know, I like she literally says, I heard that someone say that you killed my son, and then I don't remember anything else. But like nothing is resolved past that. She doesn't say like, Grandma, I'm sorry, I did that. Like, there's no like resolve.
I know.
So like, what was the point of her coming back? It would be different if she was like, you know, I had to do it. You know, your son is there. Like, you know, have a fucking conversation.
Like a talk out. Yeah.
Like a talk out. Like, what's the point of her being there then? Anyway, whatever.
It's so
lame. Didn't need her there.
Decisions that they make are so random.
Yeah. But I think to your point, it would have been really, really sick if Hiram came back, but I'm sure they couldn't.
I would have died.
Yeah,
I would have been like,
I would have gagged. I would have gagged.
Literally, like gag of the season.
Yeah.
Literally.
If Hiram came back at the final battle, it would have been so fucking sick. Like, Hiram's like, you can't pay me enough. So then it cuts to Polly, and she checks in with Betty, and she's like sitting at the table. She's like, hey girl, how's it going over here? And she's like basically in shock because she just had to kill Glenn again.
Yeah.
And he's dead, but like his arms are still moving. Like he's still like
he's twitching
animated.
In the garage. I was like,
he's twitching in the garage. I was like, Jesus, like serial killer. Then Cheryl goes to check in on Heather, who's now laying in bed because she got shot. And then it cuts to Tabitha, Reggie, and Archie talking. And they talk about like Bingo's healing properties as if like we didn't know about them. Like, you knew about them, right? Like, we know that he has these.
I didn't know that.
The dog?
Yeah.
So
when did we find that out?
So I think they bring it up in conversation when he like breaks all of his bones, like after the explosion, and they're like, miraculously, like Bingo's fine now, like his body's fine.
Yeah.
So I think you are to assume
but
that he has healing properties, but maybe there's not like, there wasn't a direct conversation around the fact that like his saliva can also like help you. No, they didn't. So they anyway, they bring him all the way. He becomes like a main character again in this episode. And then Tony comes in at this moment and she's like, I got a plan. We came up with some sort of plan. Let's do this. Then it cuts to Tony saying Percival is afraid of baby Anne. Fucking hell, I can't. I can't deal. Percival is afraid of a baby. So they want to turn him into an adult using a time bubble from Tabitha, using her power so that he can fight Percival. Okay, I wrote this line down because I just like, I couldn't even deal. Tony, who's like one of my favorite characters on the show, a mother. You never get to see mothers being like mothers on shows. She goes, I'd miss his childhood, but like, I'm willing to do that for the town. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're going to miss his childhood. So you're like, it's fine though. Like, it's all good. He's going to save the world. That's cool. You're missing years of his life so you can do this stupid fucking plan.
Which, like, by the way, doesn't even work.
Which doesn't even work.
Okay, so question to you one is,
yeah,
why is Percival so scared of baby Anthony?
I think it's just because he's also an immortal and we just like don't really know. He doesn't really know how to defeat him.
Second question. How is baby Anthony immortal? Like, did they ever explain that? And why Like, why is the spawn of CHONI and Fangs, who is useless,
yeah.
How is that baby the immortal, like, baby? Like, are we gonna talk about this? Are we gonna explain this at all?
I honestly,
does it have anything to do with her Riverdale? Remember in Riverdale how she was La Llorona? Does it have anything to do with that?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Why don't they ever explain that though?
They don't explain it at all. And I think I said something like way back when we were trying to figure out why he was important. And I said like, maybe it's because he was born in Pops. Like she had the baby in the White Worm. But they never even say, even when she says like, oh, by the way, baby Anthony's immortal, she doesn't like elaborate as to how
that's
or why.
why.
So to your point, I'm like, it would make sense if they just brought that shit back around and said, oh, it's because he was born here.
He was born in the same place where like the Hellmouth
where Percival was dead.
Yeah.
Like, was killed. Like, so then I'd be like,
see, all they had to do was say that to me. And I would have been like, okay, I'm sold. But I don't understand the significance or how this all even came about. So I'm not sold on using baby Anthony as like the key.
Yeah. I'm just going to pretend that that's what they said. So we can keep it.
You're like, I'm just gonna write my own version of Riverdale.
Write the fanfic part of it. Like that's what happened. Yeah, it's because he was born in Pops. So anyway, so she does this. So they do decide to do this fucking plan.
And like to your point, she's like, yeah, take my baby and like make him grow up to a teenager because everybody wants a teenager.
Full grown adults don't need like, and I don't understand it because anyway, I don't.
Wait, it gets even more chaotic after when he actually has like his moment.
Yeah, I'm like, how did he learn how to talk? He was in a bubble learning how to read. Like, I don't understand this like time loop situation because they make it seem like it's like, oh, you just time loop it. I'm like, you didn't feed that baby in the time loop.
Oh,
like,
I'm not even gonna get into that part of it. My mind hasn't even gone to that part of it. I'm just going on with what Tabitha's saying because I'm like, you know what, girl? If that's what you can do it. Because I can't even question you anymore because I don't get you. You're right. Powers. Like, how is she like? Yeah. I thought maybe Jughead would make a portal and like bring baby Anthony from like another like universe thing, but you're talking about a time loop, like a time loop.
You're literally looping him to fast forward his life. Like what?
And wouldn't that like fast forward everything else in the universe?
It's just like isolating him, but then he would come out being like, "I'm just a baby." Like I don't fucking know. Like that's dangerous shit you guys are just dealing with. You're let's just do that.
And ultimately what we saw how this all played out, I truly didn't need any of this. Like none of this made any sense to me.
It was pointless. It was pointless to make him a grown-up baby.
Yeah.
Like
nothing. I didn't get the significance about like they just could have left him as a baby and I would have not thought anything otherwise. Yeah. That's it.
So then she like does her power at Pops. Like you see like Flash, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like in a booth and Fangs has the worst line of like the entire series. I'm going to say that series.
Ooh.
He goes, "Anthony, are you in there, son?" Are you in there, son? Bro, you're 17 years old yourself. What are you talking about? Are you in there, son? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? I just can't. What? Son, are you in there?
And he's like, that's my son.
Aquaman, like, you're not Jason Momoa. Stop.
Oh my God. I can't even.
Died. I was like, stop. Like,
I'm so
it's bad enough.
Acting. Like, I need him to just be off the show.
That's the thing. It's bad enough that everybody comes down on him for his acting, but like to give him that line to deliver, I'm like, you guys really just want him to get read for filth. Like, you just want him to get fucking ruined by people. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
This man has been touched by an angel for having an acting job for this long. No, like honestly, like he's on a top like network television show. Like I don't know how, and he keeps like, anyways.
Are you in there, son?
Are you in there, son? And then he came out.
Then he comes out and he's like, "I'm ready to fight, Dad and Mom. Yeah, I'm ready to go." I was like, I can't deal with
Even
this.
Tony's face is like, none of this makes sense.
She's like, okay, I guess I'm a mom now of a teenager. I'm like, what? Anyway, so then it cuts to Tabitha talking to Jughead, and Jughead says, whatever happens to me, don't be sad. I want you to move on.
God.
Live your life.
Narcissism
like,
101.
Yeah.
Again, Jughead. If anything happens to me, you can move on without me.
God.
Yeah, bitch. Obviously, she was going to.
She'll be fine. Yeah.
Like, she'll be okay. Like,
she'll be okay.
He's just so... Anyways. It's just such a Jughead line to be like,
yeah,
don't wait for me. You can go live your life without me. That's gonna be fine.
She's like okay.
Yeah, she like literally time travels. She's good.
So she finally has this moment. This girl who has the power of all powers, who literally went to a different dimension last week with her boyfriend, just had the realization.
Yeah, just right now.
Just now in this moment. Riverdale. Oh my God, Riverdale. We never thought about Riverdale.
Again, another part where I was like, Tabitha, what the F? Like,
yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, you need to step up your power game. Like, I don't know. That being said, when she made the realization, I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. Like, send him back from where he came from. Like, send him back to Riverdale. But then I was like, how did you just
how
get
did
there?
they not think of that? That's what I'm saying. Like, again, that's what I was saying. I was like, how did you not think of this? How did it not even come up? Like, if it came up and she was like, no, but we can't do that because of this, I would have been like, okay. And then she could have like thought of another workaround. But like, she's like, oh my God, another universe?
What?
We need to use that. It's like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you should be doing that.
Like,
thank you. Like, you literally learned that he was from Riverdale. The first thing you should have thought of is send his ass back to Riverdale. Instead, you just like left. You were like, this is awkward. I'm going to leave now.
Instead, you guys thought to share the town with this evil man. Like,
yeah.
What?
Send his ass back to the other fucking town and call it a day.
I just couldn't. I couldn't buy into it because there were so many inconsistencies in like what she knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but she would have known this, or she would have thought about this way
that would have been like
moment.
the logical answer is to send him back to where he came from, so we can say like, oh, now the gap is closed. Like, now the fissure is closed because like everyone's back where they should be.
You literally were able to fast forward a child's existence to a teenager, but you could not think to send this man to where he came from. Which, by the way, there's a portal into that universe in the bunker.
Yeah.
That you guys visited last week. But you didn't think of that.
I did think of that. Anyway, finally, they finally got there.
They got there.
So then it cuts to Cheryl, and she's talking to Archie about the comet. It turns out that it's not passing over tonight; it's passing over tomorrow, aka next week. It's not happening this week. It's happening next week.
She's like, one more week. You gotta wait next week's episode.
You gotta wait till next week because something else is gonna happen. Okay, cool. Thank you for the input. Then it cuts to the Babylonium, and the fight begins. The door starts slamming, and all of the serpents like run in and attack the ghoulies. But they were told by Fangs not to kill them because they are your neighbors. They are just possessed. You just need to like put them down somehow. One of the most random fucking things I had probably seen on the show, which is pretty insane since it is Riverdale. Tony runs up. Okay, she runs up. Twyla from the top is like, hey, Topaz. She literally is like, don't even try it, bitch. She chucks ninja stars at her. Ninja stars. Literally, we see the next shot. They're in her face. And she's like, oh. She has them in her face. She's like, screaming. And she just like falls to the floor. Like,
why ninja stars? She could have used like a bottle or something. Like guys.
I was crying. I was like, this is hilarious. What in the world is going on right now? I'm crying now because it was just so ridiculous. I was just like,
too much. It's too much.
At first I was like, oh shit, Tony's got like a power. Like she's like swing, swing. Like they made it sound like cool. I'm like, no, she doesn't have a power. She just does ninja stars. She's whipping at this woman. Anyway, cuts to Kevin. He's pushing through the crowd with baby Anthony or big Anthony, whatever. And then right away, obviously, they like run up to the office and Percival shoots Kevin on the floor. And I was like, is he dead? Can we
once again, we're like, please let him be dead.
Please do. Please shoot him 3 times if you want to. And then Anthony comes in behind him and he's like, you know who I am? And then Percival's like, no. He tries to shoot him and he like is impenetrable.
And he's like, I told you.
He's like, I'm just a baby. He's like, he starts like
try it again.
He's like, try it again, bitch. So then he shoots him again. He can't shoot him. He's like, oh my God, it's you, Anthony. So again, this is the thing that I get annoyed by, and I think it's like a comic book thing where they like tell you their plan as it's about to happen.
Yeah,
he's like, come after me, bro, as you're walking toward him. Yeah. I'm immortal, bro. And so obviously, as he's about to like go after Percival, Percival sits in his chair, flips around, and like teleports away.
Yeah.
Without his clothes. I wouldn't have minded a butt shot, CW.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, it's PG.
We made it like this far. Like, give us something.
Yeah, anything. So anyway, so
that was the end of Baby Anthony's plan. Let's just be real.
Literally,
that was his idiotic, useless plan
waste of a time.
Why would you tell the men that you are like immortal and you're like just kill him and then like be like,
and then explain to after, like, we already know, you don't need to tell
so
him.
Again, none of this needed to happen. Like this whole Baby Anthony sequence, this is like the last that we see of him. Like we don't see him after that, so it was completely useless.
It's like you literally fast forwarded 20 years of his life just so he can like end up locked in a room.
And how was he going to kill him? With the gun?
He didn't even have anything on him.
That's what I'm saying. Like he didn't have anything. So how were you going to kill him?
Like that was your plan, Tony? Between Tony and Fangs coming up with a dumbass plan, like, Tony, you're failing me right now. I was really disappointed.
It was so lame.
It was so lame.
So lame.
So lame for it to be like this. Like, I know they're trying to give us the highs and lows, but like, you're not tricking me. You're not tricking me.
I know they're trying to give us different attempts at bringing him down, but I wouldn't even consider this an attempt. You did not even target the man. Like, you didn't do anything.
You didn't hone in on him. Like, what did you do?
You killed Twyla. Okay, like, big deal.
Yeah. You probably didn't even kill her. You just shot fucking ninja arrows in her face. And then now she may not even be dead. She may just have scars. Anyway, he teleports away with this, and he seals the
he hides basically,
so they can't get in, like, or they can't get out now. Like they're not able to like fight with him anymore. Then it cuts to Archie at the El Royale, updating them about Percival and like what he did. He got away and this and that, and they can't get out anymore. Then Tabitha comes in with Jughead, and she's like, I got a new plan. I was like, okay, everybody's coming up with plans. Like, can this one please stick? Then they were like, we're able to fight Percival in Riverdale, but we need Pops to come back. So they're like, but how are we going to do that? Like, we only have like 2 hours before the battle, and like Pops is like not even in the right area. What are we going to do? She literally uses her time bubble to rebuild Pops. So like take down everything in the El Royale. The set designers were like, fuck you guys.
Like they're like, screw, we do not get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah, we need to be unionized to get this shit done. So they rebuild Pops in a matter of like 5 seconds, whatever. And even Reggie's like, yo, I'm already exhausted. Like, you do like a day, like 3 days worth of work in a matter of seconds, but like it doesn't mean that you don't have the same, anyway, whatever. I don't even want to ask questions at this point.
I know.
So then it cuts to Percival arriving at Pops, because Pops is now like set up, and he fights Archie at the front. He's like beating him up with like a mace, and he's got a baseball bat. They're like fighting, cute little scene. And then it shows like the rest of the core four like inside Pops, like they're just chilling by the window watching. He beats him up to the point where like he's about to lose, and as he's about to like swing his thing, he looks behind him and he sees that like they're all like not inside anymore. And so they all start taking turns like beating his ass. Like they do this like circle like beat up. Like Betty takes a punch, Veronica takes a punch, and then like
so was their plan like,
oh no, Tabitha's not there.
Like they really thought they were gonna defeat him with just punching him?
No, I think that
this was the beginning part of
it. This was the plan. Like they were gonna like distract him,
first step,
make him feel like he won. But the problem is like he could have literally murdered them all with this plan. He's like, he could have killed each and every one of them. So anyway, At one point in time, Veronica like beats him down. It's like, this is our town, bitch. It was a cute moment. But then literally he like closes his eyes, does a spell, and freezes Cheryl, like turns her into ice.
He basically turns everyone's power against them.
Yeah. So like he freezes Cheryl, blind. Betty goes blind, Veronica gets poisoned, Archie is a statue as well. Like he turned into like palladium or whatever. So now he's like, I win, whatever. He sees Jughead in the diner. He's just chilling there.
Like, one more left to go.
He's like, I'm going to get in there. He walks in and Jughead's like, yo, let's have a fight in our minds. So Percival's obviously like, I'm down. Let's do this. He tries to get into Percival's mind. His mind is like locked, obviously. And then it shows Percival going into Jughead's mind. And he's like easily like opening the door. He like goes into the comics. He starts ripping pages out. He does start ripping out pages of like memories with him and Tabitha, which was interesting.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Because it starts to like shake away. And I was like, oh, like, does that mean that Jughead is like sacrificing his memories with Tabitha? Like, that's kind of fucked up that he would be willing to do that. Anyway, Jughead goes into his own mind and he's like, your mind is here, but your body is in Riverdale, girl, or Rivervale, bitch.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that they tricked him by turning the portal of the front door of Pops into the Rivervale version.
Right.
So he walks in.
Right.
And now he's in Rivervale. And that's when it shows like everybody. Oh, no, not yet. They sent him back into a time where the devil made the deal with him. Like
before
back
he
in the
was
1500s
like
or whatever.
Immortal. Yeah.
Yeah. So it shows all of them, like they all stabbed him, like the Rivervale versions of like Cheryl and Archie and Betty and whatever. They're all there. They all took turns stabbing him. And then Tabitha like grabs him and like sends him back to the 1500s.
1500s, yeah.
And then the devil is like waiting for him at like the table. And he's like, yo, you're here. I'm going to take your soul. I have a contract. And then he takes him to hell. And then he's dead, ?
Yeah.
One thing I will say is I did feel like even if we knew this was the fake out death or end of Percival, it wasn't giving me what I needed.
Thank you.
In terms of like, he wasn't screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I hate this town, or like, I hate your friends, or like, you guys are the worst. Like he didn't even have like a resolve to make me feel like, yeah, you got it. Like, you know, we tricked you and like now you're here and you're fucked. Like the devil just took him and he's like, bye. Like,
and he's like okay. Speaking in Latin, he's like, blah, 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 and then he's like, okay, bye. And then I was like, well, that's it. So no, I 100% agree with what you're saying. Overall, like, I guess I did enjoy their plan. It does all make sense when you think about it. But you're right, like the visual of him suffering and like actually like dying and withering away or being taken away, or like even just being taken away by the devil. They could have made like his face like melt off, or like something like visual that like looks like he's suffering and he's gone. We didn't get that.
Right. Or the devil could have said to him like, you know, since you've lived so many lives, your death is going to be like tenfold. Like your time in hell is going to be even worse. Like, make him feel like he's gonna suffer a little bit.
I didn't get any of that. It was way
I didn't
too
get
easy.
any of it.
Way too easy.
It was too easy. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back next episode.
Yeah.
Like, to that point.
That's what I felt. I was like, this is not over. I was like, this is not over.
I didn't feel like it was done. Like it didn't give me like the big villain fight that I was looking for. Even
my other question,
getting there made sense.
My other question is, if he's in the 1500s, right? And that's when he doesn't have his powers yet. How was he able to speak Latin and fuck up the Bailey's Comet?
I guess he still has power. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand that part, because she's like, we're gonna go back to when you were immortal, right? So I guess he still had powers. He was just immortal. He wasn't immortal yet. Maybe
he wasn't immortal yet. I don't know.
But he had his powers. See, like that. Like you guys can't create like all of these complex layers and then not really address or cover them up. That's the part that I don't appreciate, because you're saying, let's go back to when you didn't have these things. Okay, sick. Right. You took him there. He was still able to affect Bailey's Comet. Like, what?
Yeah, it didn't make any. I mean, it didn't make sense at all to me, at all. Anyway, he's gone, I guess. Everyone's back and everyone's like, yes, we beat him. Everyone's back to normal. She brings like all of like the dead people, the ones who got beheaded. They find
they
their
find the
heads in the freezer or
freezer.
whatever. They bring them back to life. Everyone's like having their moments together. Cheryl comes home and Heather like basically like tells her like, oh, while you were gone, I saw something and now I know what's wrong. Something's really wrong. Cheryl like looks at the
Cheryl's like,
comet.
no, don't you get it? Like, we won. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
And she's like, no,
And then
girl.
it was like commercial break. And I was like, thank goodness they're not leaving this to like the last episode.
Yeah.
But so commercial break, then it cuts to Tabitha and Jughead talking. And Jughead kind of gets confused. He's like, why didn't I die? Maybe something shifted. He's not really sure.
But why would he have died?
I don't know. I guess because she says, like, even in the ones that we won, you still died.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, but why did he die? Like, what was so significant of his death? Like, he didn't even he didn't suffer for 1 second while they like
literally
did this plan.
He was like fine all the time.
Yeah, the entire plan, it was like he didn't die. So I don't know.
Oh, other than him dying and then coming back to life.
Right, which everybody did. Like, it wasn't just him. So
it wasn't just him. Yeah,
I don't know. He does say like maybe something shifted, whatever, and then everyone's trying to like have
Tabitha,
moments.
I'm questioning your freaking skills right now. Like, I really don't know how accurate your time travel is. Like,
no, and that's what I mean. I feel like her power is so OP to give a character that kind of power. Like, I just feel like it's too much.
Yeah,
because people know too much about what that power can be for you to be like, oh no, but she can't do that.
And your
expectations, oh no, she's not going to think of that. Yeah, your expectations are so high for her to figure it all out.
And then let's wait for the final scene, because again, I questioned it after that too.
Yeah. So then at the very end, everyone's like kind of like having their moments. Like, it shows cute moment with like Polly and Alice and Betty on the couch, and like Archie's having like a beer with his uncle. Like, everybody's like back to normal.
Okay, so everyone's like good now. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess
I could have honestly, guys, I would have been fine if all of those 3 characters died.
I know.
Like, if they were collateral and they had to die, I would have been like, it's fine. This is the battle between good versus evil. It's okay if some people have to die. Like,
we literally lost nobody. Lost no one.
Nobody.
Not one person died.
How can you go through an entire season like this and not lose a character? It just doesn't make sense.
All we lost was Hiram, and it was just like, but
and that was random. Not even because that was because of Hiram's like Mark's choice. I think that wasn't because,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You just need high stakes at this point, and especially like, here's the thing: we know this is the final season. So whether or not you want to just keep these characters like everlasting because it's a comic book and like they all stay alive, I kind of get that understanding around it, but like,
really,
you couldn't have killed off Tom Keller.
Like, do you think you
even
really
brought back Polly,
Keller?
who got murdered? Like, some people cried over her murder. You know what I mean? Like, you brought her ass back too. Like, everyone's just out here coming back, and I'm just like, okay, fine,
I'm just like, why though? I don't need that.
And it's not that I want everybody to die. It's more just like, it's what we always say. It's what you always say, and be like, stakes. They need to be real. They need to be like plausible, because that is what tugs at our heartstrings.
Yeah.
Everyone that's left the show or has died on the show has died because they really cannot come back or don't want to come back. Like Fred, like, you know, or you know what I mean? Like, those are real moments, and obviously like it probably wouldn't have played out that way had they still been here, but it's just one of those things where you look at a show like this and I'm just like, yes, I get it's a comic book show. Yes, it's like the real version of the Archie comics. And I know that in Archie comics, like, nobody ever dies and blah, blah, blah. But that is what brings like an elevated level of like excitement and a tug at your heart in the show.
And that's why, like, seeing them in the guillotine, I was like, I legit did not give a flying F. Yeah. Because I was like, I know they're not going to be dead. I know this is just Riverdale. Like, and so that kind of, I don't know, you need
like stakes. Don't even bother putting them into those like situations because we know that it's not going to be that
especially
bad.
When they are such useless characters like Frank and Tom Keller. Like, Alice is different. Having said that, we are heading into the final season, so do we still need Betty's mom as a main character? Maybe not. Maybe we can be okay without her. So I just don't get it. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. Keeping people employed, fine, cool. That's fine. COVID's been bad for everybody. Everybody needs a paycheck. So anyway, all those final scenes are happening. Then Cheryl kind of busts in and is like, it's not over yet. Bailey's comet is coming straight for Riverdale.
he must have done something. And Tabitha's like, oh, I remember he said something like, if I can't have Riverdale, then no one can have Riverdale. Girl, how did you just remember that shit? How did you just remember that shit?
And then she was like, the final image that I see, Riverdale's destruction, it might have been from the comic.
I'm like,
I was like, first of all,
so you knew he was gonna do that.
If a comet hit you, there would not even be pops like that. It'd be like flat land. It'd be like done. Like everything would be done. Like again, another reason I'm like, Tabitha, this doesn't work. Like this is not working for me.
Yeah, I just.
How can she not see that was the comet? Like.
Yeah, like that would have been the big situation. So now they have to deal with this freaking comet.
And like, shout out to the comet. Okay,
shout out to Bailey's comet.
You literally like were a nobody character this whole season, and now you're like the OG villain of the season. You beat out Percival. Like all the work Percival put in, it's all gone. Like this comet is coming through as like the MVP of the season. Literally. Yeah,
it's literally coming here to destroy everybody. Anyway, and it's literally just going back to what I just said about like the high stakes. Okay, a comet's coming to Riverdale, and what? They'll figure it out, and they'll be done. You know what I mean? Like, no, like there's like,
no. If
like,
an evil presence couldn't get rid of people, yeah.
Like why? Like I don't care. No one's gonna die anyway, and you're gonna find a way through it, so it's fine.
Exactly, and like to my point, what I was saying in the beginning, I was like, it basically makes Percival's character and like all of his evilness feels so much less like
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter because at the end, like this comet's coming through. Obviously, yes, he obviously triggered it and like he's making it go faster. Like, moved it, but like it was still coming, and like it's just I did not need this at all. Like I could have just been done with Percival's like thing, and that would have been. And I don't get this whole Bailey's comet thing at all.
I don't know what they're gonna do for this final episode, but like I'm not terribly excited about it because like. I don't know, maybe.
Unless it's the thing that like disconnects the two universes once and for all. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it becomes a thing where Jughead is like, oh, this is why I have to like die. He's going to have to like open a gate to Riverdale, open it up with his like superpower, portal power, pull the comet in, and he has to like die with the comet, like Stranger Things style. Like he needs to like die in this world or whatever. I can see that happening, but
are you excited for that?
I think it just goes back to what I was just saying. Like, if he dies, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't come back.
Or like, there's always like a second version of Riverdale.
There's always a second version. There's like, no one ever really dies in Riverdale. Like, it's just, I don't know if after 6 seasons, I feel like it's enough for me. Like, if you call back to the first time you see like FP walking out with like Jughead's like lifeless body.
Dude, you literally thought Jughead was dead. I remember you were so sad.
But it was such an intense moment because you were like, whoa, like they did that and it could be the end. Like no, that was it. Well, you didn't think so, but I was like, bro, he is.
I remember you were like really sad. Yeah,
I was like, that's crazy. But like, there's like by season 6, no stakes. You want to die? Go right the fuck ahead. Like I don't even know what to say.
Compare the two reactions. You're like, okay, can't wait for next week. I remember recording that podcast with you, and you were like legit tripping out, and I was like, he's gonna be okay, J-Lag, and you're like, I don't think so, because his voiceover ended, and he's not doing the narration anymore.
That's what I was like fully emotionally invested in this show. Now I'm like, okay, moving on. Like that's, and like I said, like I just feel like there's no emotional pull for me anymore to 100%. Be like, do I care? Do I not care? No, I can say confidently that I really don't care.
Yeah, no,
either way.
For sure.
If someone dies, if Archie dies, I'd be like, okay. Like, moving on.
Oh, just use the dog. He'll lick your wounds. You'll be fine.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm going to be annoyed about is if they kill everybody off and they just still don't kill off Kevin. Like, please, for God's sakes, like, just get this guy off the damn show.
Imagine they like kill everyone off and they leave Kevin to like repopulate like the earth.
The earth. This homo fucking tried to repopulate the earth. Good luck. Trying to steal people's babies and shit. Like, what is wrong with you? Okay. Well, that is the end of the episode.
I really hope you guys enjoyed our recap because I do feel like we had mixed feelings along the way.
Yeah.
And now that I'm on this side of it, I'm like, did I enjoy that episode?
Yeah, I'd love to know what people thought about it. And obviously, like, at the end of the day, we're still watching it. We're still here watching the show and reviewing it. So, like, we do love it to a certain degree, obviously, or otherwise we wouldn't be here. But we need to tell it like it is because it's
and
the
I
only
have
thing
questions.
that keeps me sane.
And I think we had genuine questions, like, along the way. I was like, J-Lag, and even J-Lag's like, I can't answer that for you. Like,
yeah,
I'm
so sorry.
idea.
I don't know what to tell you about that. Yeah, no. We did have one question from @Kendall5Casey who says, I got a question. Who's going to get back together at the end of the season? Kangs, CHONI, or Veggie? These are the questions that I'm here for.
These are the questions that we really care about. These are the hard-hitting questions that we want to get to behind.
Yeah, let's talk about ships.
Okay, so it's interesting, right? So Kangs, don't care.
Don't care. I don't think that that's even
I
don't think that's even in like the universe of it happening anymore.
I really don't care. I don't care for Kevin, and I don't care for Fangs.
Yeah.
Let's put that one aside.
Let's say no.
CHONI,
even if they do, okay, fine. I don't care.
Yeah. CHONI, I definitely see getting back together. I just don't know if it's going to happen by next week. That's like too soon, I feel like.
I don't think that they're going to get back together. I think like at all. I don't even think. Wow. I mean, we'll see what season 7 brings, but I definitely don't think by this season for sure.
No, yeah.
And I definitely just don't know because Heather's still in the picture. She didn't get murdered by Jason this episode.
I mean, like, we still have Bailey's comment coming. You never know.
Bailey's comment. We don't know what's going to happen with that. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good question. That's a
no,
fair reason.
Yeah.
And Veggie. I mean,
so okay, Veggie's interesting.
I'm down for Veggie to get back together.
Let's talk about this for a second because to your point and what you were saying, why would Reggie grab Hiram's portrait from that store, even though he was under Percival's spell at that time too?
Oh, like, right. Yeah.
Kind of was. And it's like, why would you think to grab that portrait? The only reason why is because he thought about Veronica and he's like, this does mean something to her. Yeah. Let me take it for her. That's what I felt. And I'm like, that's so freaking cute that he thought about her like in that moment. So to me, that's a veggie crumb right there.
Yeah. Veggie crumbs. Veggie crumb.
Vegetable crumb. That's a vegetable crumb right there.
Vegetable crumbs. Yeah. Little
I think so. Now, will they get back together by end of season? No, I don't think there's enough time. Next week's going to be like all Bailey's comment. Yeah. So do I see them like being together next season? Yeah, I could see that.
I could see it. I could, and I think I'm okay with it. I think, you know, Reggie's had like a dark moment, but he did kind of make his way back to us, and like I was okay with it.
I just want to see more growth from those characters a little before they get back together, or when they are. I want Reggie to be like, why do I like Veronica? Like, what is it about her that I do like? And
or essentially resolve the issues that they had in the beginning, you know, like they already addressed the fact that they have a toxic relationship. So what have they done to grow from that and learn from that so they can get back together healthy?
Yeah. And I do feel like Veronica is starting to get like feelings for Archie, or like she's like feeling him again. So it's like, how is she going to like deal with those feelings and then also recognize that like maybe Archie isn't the best for her, like maybe Reggie is better suited for her, or there's someone else out there for her, like who like why are we so stuck to like two options for her only, you know?
Who knows? We'll see. Good question.
Great question though.
Let's get into our recap roundups.
Best moment. So my best moment I think is gonna go to that whole sequence of them just like doing their plan, because at every like the ending plan, like the one that actually worked. I
was like, which one?
Like the one that actually worked. Just because I was like, oh, the portal. Oh, they're in his mind. Smart. I kind of liked it because it kind of resembled Stranger Things, where like they also tried to distract Vecna while he was in their Max's brain and try to kill him in real life. So I loved all of that. That was my best moment.
My best moment is gonna go to when Percival gets his ass beat by everybody. I think that like it's just gratifying sometimes to see a villain get their ass kicked by everyone. We never got that with Hiram. Like no one ever got to like punch him a million times over before he left Riverdale. So like to see Percival get like what's kind of coming to him, like physically, it was gratifying.
I mean, and that's to your point, like that was the one time where we really got to see him like all like bruised up, and like when it cut to his face after his lip was like all messed up, I was like, okay, like it's I need to see this guy like actually like suffering.
You need to feel like these heroes have done something that like, means something. So I thought that was good. Not to say that like violence is a big thing, but for me, I was just like, as the hero, you want to see
how much shit has he done to our characters? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
WTF moment.
What's your WTF moment?
My WTF moment, I think I'm gonna give it to aging up baby Anthony, because I literally I was like, where, I don't understand any of this.
Why
are we doing this? The plan was, there literally was no plan.
Yeah.
Nothing came out of it. I just
except for now they have a
did not
baby.
Yeah, and then also like, now what do we do? So now does it go backwards? Like, is he gonna go back to being a baby, or does he stay as an adult? And what are the consequences of that decision?
Right. Yeah. Like, Tabitha can move forward time. Can she move him backwards?
She go back?
Can she like send him to baby?
There has to be implications to her messing up with like those things in the
absolutely.
Yeah.
She's doing all these crazy things. She like created a million time loops. Like, anyway, in the science of it all, they would have already imploded on themselves because they've messed up so many times.
Do you see, sorry, really quick, do you see Tabitha dying by the end of the season?
No. And even if she does, she's gonna become like an immortal angel. So like, I don't.
That's what I mean. Like, do you see her like, in my eyes, I really see her being like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta be a guardian angel now. I can't, like, I've done too much, whatever, maybe like manipulation to the timelines, and I gotta dip. And I do see season 7 not having her in it, because she was never really a series regular. She was added on, and she's been amazing, and I love her. Yeah. And I don't want to see her go, but I do feel like if there's ever gonna be a rekindling of Betty and Jughead, she has to be out of the picture. She has to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, and to if your they're point moving about to the original ships, then the ripping the memories out. Yeah. Like, I can see it happening. I would be really sad about it though, I think, because I think that like she deserves better. I think her character deserves better than to just be like, I'm better than all of this. I need to leave. But then again, we have been saying that about her character this whole time. We're like, she's better than Jughead. She doesn't even need his ass. He's a loser. Like, she needs to do better. So I don't know, maybe.
I feel like if they wrap it in a really nice way of like, guys, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be looking over Riverdale, because that's what she is. I think we'll be okay with that more. We'll be like, she's out there. Like, she's watching everyone.
So they're doing like guardian angel training.
Exactly. And I think we can buy that more than like if they just killed her off, which they won't, because we know they don't kill anyone off. So I could
I can see that happening. I would be, like I said, sad, but it would make sense to me.
Yeah.
My WTF moment's going to go to Abuelita coming out of nowhere, because girl, I almost forgot until I got to this WTF moment reading it again. I cannot believe she was in this fucking episode. What a random goddamn thing to happen.
With a shoddy, mind you, with a shoddy. Like, it wasn't even a silenced gun. It was like a shoddy.
Gunk. Yeah.
Like, what the grandma, what?
What the hell?
MVP.
Who's your MVP?
Like, realistically, Abuelita should have been MVP. Like now that I'm thinking about it. No, but actually my MVP is Bailey's comment, because that shit has been in place since like the beginning of the season. It is now coming through literally. It's gonna like kill everyone. It is giving
like main character energy.
Exactly. Main character villain energy. Like, move over Percival. Bailey's comment is what Bailey's comment
was the one. That was the hidden boss. The one after the big boss.
Yes. Like, you were just the mind flayer, honey. This is the OG.
This is the OG moment. Yeah.
Okay.
My MVP is going to be Tabitha. And I know I wrote this down before we had this conversation.
You're like,
No, I mean, I think I still, despite the confusion of her character, she did a lot. She did a lot that was not necessary, like bring back baby Anthony. but like, outside of that, I think that she like pulled, she did more than a lot of the other characters did. So
what I will say is I agree with that statement if it's Tabitha and Jughead together, because I do think when they are together, they have great ideas and they work so well together. So I get that they've made big moves when they are like thinking like together, but when she's on her own and she's like coming up with this weird shit, I was like, girl, I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you know? Fair.
LVP.
My LVP. Oh my god, this was hard. I don't know who to give it to. You go first.
I'm gonna give mine to Jason, because I've already talked about it, but like pretty useless character. He just came back to be killed again, had an arrow, had a moment, and then he was gone again. I was just like, what was the purpose of your character again? Thank you, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, useless LVP.
Useless. I mean, I guess I'll say baby Anthony / Kevin.
Okay.
Because Kevin, again, like really did not. He literally walked in the room and got shot at. Like he couldn't even shoot. Like, and then baby Anthony for just being like, I don't understand what was your purpose? What was your plan? And he also was like feeling himself in like a weird way. He was like on baby Anthony, on Immortal, I'm gonna be the thing that takes you down. And then he was like, oh, and then I was like, you're done. Like,
you're done.
Who was your hype man? Because like you're a little delusional. Like you didn't do anything.
So you don't have any friends who told you that was wrong.
Yeah. Right. The best line. So my best line was from Percival at the end. And I think this was when I was like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, did they get him? Is he gonna come back? And Percival goes, I'm a magic man, Mr. Andrews, and I've always got something up my sleeve. And I was like, all right, this is not over yet.
The gag.
Yeah, the gag, yeah.
My best line is gonna go to Tony when she chucks those motherfucking ninja stars at Twilight. And she goes, don't even try it, bitch. I
loved it. I'm missing Tony a lot on screen. Like, I feel like she doesn't get a lot of scenes lately.
Yeah.
And I do just want to say here, in case we don't get to talk about it next week, I have to say that Percival as a villain was awesome. Like the actor that played Percival was amazing. He is a great actor. Like I really hope he goes on to do like bigger and better things. And I think as a villain, I think he's been my favorite villain for Riverdale, like thus far.
I mean, I think he was something completely different because, I mean, for one, we focused on Hiram being the main villain for such a long time.
True.
That having a character
Hiram
like
aside,
him, it was just very, very different. Like, nothing that we would have expected.
Yeah.
I think that he was really great to hate. Like, to your point, like
he played it really well.
He played it really, really well, and I think that you do a great job when you look at this character. And you're just like, I can't fucking stand him. Yeah. But at the same time, a part of me also feels that I didn't like him because the characters didn't really react to him in a good way. You know what I mean? Like he made some really strong choices, but their rebuttal was like, oh no, he just became mayor. Like we hated him through their lack of like awareness too. So anyway, whatever. Yeah, he was a good character. He was a good villain for sure. I would like to see if it's really the end for him. Is he, like for me, if I was Percival, I'd be like, Devil, like let's make a second deal so we can like destroy the plane. You know what I mean? Like let's do another deal in hell and then like come back even stronger. You know
so my other
I feel like
question
he's
to
a good
you,
talker.
and I didn't get to ask this, why would the Devil even help the Riverdale gang?
I guess because his soul was even more important than like whatever he should use up to. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he came back to destroy the world for the Devil. He did it to destroy it himself. For himself. Yeah. So like if he was like, no, Devil, I want to do it for you, then I think it would be a different story.
Yeah. And it was almost like a trade. It was like a trade-off.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Before we get to the end, we did just get a message on Twitter from @JiffyPopCulture, and they have a bunch of questions for us. So I figured we should just go through them real quick.
Yep, let's do it.
First one is, how is there no supernatural in Riverdale's dimension when Sabrina / the other witches exist?
I agree. So I've been asking this question since the beginning. I think.
Well, yeah, that's
since we heard about Sabrina and Chaos being in the same universe like as Riverdale, we've asked this question. Like it doesn't make any sense.
And I think that we got like hints of it, like in the, we talk about like the Halloween episodes that they used to do. They had like a few of those like supernaturally moments, but it wasn't like ghosts and ghouls and like witches and whatever. But I think it's also just because it was like a director's choice. Like we heard from RAS at a very early stage, like it's never gonna have magic. The actors came out and said like it's not gonna have magic. It's just here we are with magic right now. But
and I understand that this is different because now we have two universes clashing with each other. Right. But to their point, to Jiffy's point, like but chaos always existed in Riverdale's universe. So like there was always magic.
Like they brought Sabrina back from Greendale in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like she came from the Riverdale universe.
So we understand that question. We've been asking that same question this whole entire time.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for it because I really don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Second really good question is another thing that we always ask as well. Number 2 is, why didn't Heather call her coven to help fight the powerful sorcerer Percy? I'm like,
Jiffy, you are literally asking the questions that we've been asking. From time, and even the idea that Sabrina came in and helped. Yeah. Girl, they're talking about the world ending. Why wouldn't you stay in hell? Goodbye. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Useless. It just doesn't make any sense. And then to that second question, like, why isn't Heather calling anyone else? Like, hello, can we not get help around here?
Exactly. And that's the thing, like, they took it to like the tiniest level of like, we're supernatural, there's witches involved, you have fire powers, but like not to the degree that we know they can get to, because we've watched shows like Sabrina.
If
like,
they had just
can get there.
If they had just said that Percival put like almost like a aura around both universes and no one could get in, I would have been like, okay, like this is like an internal thing. He just cut off the roads this week, so like that's not a big deal. Like, witches can fly, like that's not gonna stop Sabrina.
Or like we've been saying, like there is something happening in Greendale that doesn't allow them to help. Like Sabrina is actually dead, and she like only had a temporary time there.
Anything, there
could have been anything
to make it make sense. It now makes us just, you guys think that we're stupid or something that we're not asking these questions, because like people just want to know.
Because the last question they have is, if Percy's magic can attract a comet, can Sabrina's magic repel it? Likely, but they're likely not going to be bringing back Kieran Chipka / Sabrina.
I think you said this last week, and Jiffy, I don't know if you heard this that we were saying last week, but I think J-Lag, you mentioned it would have been sick if Sabrina did really die in this timeline, in this universe. They were able to access her from like maybe a different universe, or like from the afterlife. She came to help for like a minute, but she was like, I gotta go. Like, I can't. She's like, I can't physically change things. I can only help you guys. I would have been like, that's amazing. Like, cool. Right. Yeah. And I would have believed all of this. And this, I think this all would have sort of made sense. But to your point, why can't she just come back and repel the comet? Like,
and call it a day. Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, that is the
great
end.
Questions, but
thank you for the questions. Do we have any from Instagram?
No, we had a bunch. We have some roundups.
Yeah, go for it. So
you want to do Shoni's roundup first?
Yeah. No, I just did. Oh, I didn't do it. Jeez.
The roundups, yeah.
Shoni 5 on it says MVP Tabitha. They legit defeated Percival. Very true. Best moment, the Tabitha I love you. Also the best line. WTF moment, Cheryl killing Jason after everything. Tony willing to die for her son, but then agreeing to age him up and allow him to miss childhood.
Yeah.
This is literally what I said. And then LVP Fangs, the actor cannot act. This is not my
I think the LVP of the season is Fangs' acting, honestly. Like that's made like the LVP list.
Yeah.
One too many times. We also have from Instagram at Sierra N. He said, okay, recap roundups, because that episode was insane in the best way possible. Best moment, the whole episode. I had such a great time. Highlights were probably the final battle, Kevin being shot. I was hoping that was it, but no. Anytime Tabitha did anything, I have too much, honestly. WTF moment, Percival just waltzing around naked. Not that I'm complaining. MVP, Tabitha and Jughead, they got shit done, but honestly everyone. LVP, Kevin for yet again doing nothing, but we expect it. Honestly, Anthony as well, because he could have got him, but was only useful for 2 seconds. Best line, am I dying again? Archie. I thought it was so funny amongst the chaos. Overall, this episode was bananas and I loved every minute. This is the Riverdale I love, and it reminds me of season 2, episode 21 with the riots and the Black Hood reveal where we don't get a chance to breathe, etc., etc. Agreed. Like, I feel like you're not breathing this episode.
Yeah.
But now that we're sort of reanalyzing it, I'm like, there was a lot of like things that I questioned.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to question for sure.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
More thing and see.
Do we got any more in there?
Not yet. No.
Okay, well, I know that we got another one on Twitter, but it got like blocked or something. I think like the user got blocked or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you for sending them in. We're sorry if we didn't get to them. We are doing this very, very early. So, with that, I would like to take this time to thank our patrons of the episode. I'd like to thank our Rewinder squad. We have White, Cliff, Hannah, Haley, and Julia. We have our Lit Rewinders, Tina and Kate, and our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamala, and Grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. If you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind.
And make sure you're checking us out on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes. Like, subscribe, follow, review, and comment to stay engaged with us at Recap and Rewind. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.